I'd like to now ask Director Wray. I agree with your stance on China. Firmly believe China is a grave threat to our nation on all different fronts, and I appreciate your stance on that. My question is, how substantial are the Chinese state ties to entities sending fentanyl ingredients to the Mexican cartels?
Well, I'm not sure what I can share in this setting on that, but let me try it this way. When it comes to questions about state ties and China, I think it's important for Americans to understand the distinctions that we draw in this country between the government and, say, the private sector are distinctions that in the Chinese country, in the Chinese government, the Chinese state, are distinctions that are blurry at best, if non-existent. And so we have certainly seen that entities in China, unscrupulous actors in China, are the primary source not just of fentanyl precursors, but of pill presses, which are used to press the fentanyl, and by the way, of precursors for meth in the labs in Mexico as well. So whether or not that traces back to the CCP directly, that I can't speak to here.
Going back to my 20 years in the military, the Chinese Communist Party is interacted in every aspect of their government. Very briefly, if you could respond, do you think Chairman Xi can turn it on or off? Is he critical to turning these precursors or anything on or off?
There is not a doubt in my mind that if the Chinese government wanted to be more aggressive and serious about clamping down on precursors for fentanyl and meth and pill presses, there are all sorts of things they could do, and we would welcome their contribution to that.
I agree with you. I want to move on to the terrorist attack that happened in Israel. Following Hamas's attack on Israel on October the 7th, there has been a rise of anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim sentiment in the United States. Would you agree?
Yes.
If someone here is in the United States on a visa and they actively support terrorism, what happens to them?
Well, I'm not an expert on visa revocation, but if they meet the appropriate visa revocation standard, then action is taken administratively to revoke their visa.
Right now, it's illegal. If you are here on a visa and you actively are supporting a terrorist organization, it's illegal, and you need to be deported. The question I have is, how many cases has the FBI pursued in this route?
Well, visa revocation is not within our authorities. Sure. We obviously work with our partners and share information when we have evidence about somebody's
have there been cases
terrorism. I don't have a number for you today, but certainly visa revocation is an important tool that the whole of government
has any occurred this year?
Have any visa revocations occurred?
Where you've worked with other partners, I'll close out here, Chairman, that you've worked with other entities in the government to determine if these visa stays are indeed supporting terrorism?
I mean, I know that we've had all sorts of cases that have resulted in visa revocation, whether or not they fit the exact criteria.
But there are active cases that you've been working on.
We view visa revocation as an important tool in the toolbox. The only thing I'm clarifying is that it's not our tool, but it's a tool we contribute to by sharing.
You do contribute it. Okay, thank you, Chairman.
Gentleman's time has expired.